All right, so in the last unit, we talked about exponential growth and we focused on the equation y equals a times b to the x, where a is our starting value and b is our growth or our multiplier. So before we get into exponential decay, let's just do a quick recall looking at patterns. So how do we figure out the next number in the pattern for 12, 24, 48, and 96? Well, at first, I think maybe we add 12, but 24 plus 12 doesn't get me to 48, so I know it can't be that. But if I multiply by 2, I see 12 times 2 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. 48 times 2 is 96. So I know that my growth factor is 2. So my next value would be 192. Okay, and we could say our equations y equals 12, which is our starting value, times 2 to the x power. Well, what about the second one? In the second one, we're dividing by 2. Okay, so what is half of 3/4, which is our 0.75? That would end up being, let's see, 3/8, which I don't remember. I think it's like 0.375. Someone please check my work and then send me a chat if I'm right or wrong, but I think it's 0.375. What's our starting value? Well, our starting value is 12, but we're not multiplying by 2, we're dividing by 2. But I never really taught you how to put division into decay. So how do we show dividing by 2? We actually multiply by a half. Okay, so there's technically no division in exponential decay. It's always a multiplier. So we're going to multiply by a half. So what do we need to know about our equation for exponential decay? We still have the same formula. A is still our starting value. B is still our growth multiplier. But in this situation, for it to be decay, B, so it has to be in between 0 and 1. So if our B value is less than 1 but greater than 0, that will show decay. So let's apply that really quick to 4 equations below. So it says identify if the function is exponential growth or decay and justify your response. Well, as we look at our first one, our focus is on 3/5. So you just have to ask yourself, is 3/5 less than 1 or greater than 1? Well, we know that 3/5 is less than 1, so this is decay. And that's our justification right there to justify a response. All right, well, let's look at the second one. In the second one, we see that we have 7/5. Okay, so we're focusing on our growth factor. And we see that 7/5 is greater than 1. So here we'd have growth. Let's take a look at the third one. We're focusing on our 0.2. 0.2 is less than 1, so that's decay. And then for our last one, our focus is on 10/3. And we see here that 10/3 is greater than 1, so we have growth. So far from these 2 lessons, we should know our formula is y equals a times b to the x. We should know it's growth when b is greater than 1. We should know it's decay when b is in between 0 and 1.